to development of farming blocks. So these farming blocks, already you'll see there are places like Mukushi, whose economies revolve around farming blocks. So these farming blocks will be able to attract modern type of agriculture, and in most cases will be able to attract people from outside that will come with modern trends of doing their agriculture.
Right.
So then it will stimulate the economy. When these people come in, they will be able to put up infrastructure in these areas. And so we will now get a fair spread of development, as opposed to the development that we have seen just along the line of rail. So what this will do now is that we'll be able to evenly spread development to Shangombo, because that's where the land is. So you'll find that even the issue of land wrangles will be reduced. There's a lot of land wrangles almost every day. Right. You as a media station are covering people having land issues. So now land issues is as a result of the problem with rural-urban drift. So this, to me, sorts out the rural-urban drift problem that we've had. Right. Most of the governments that we've had have not really looked at development, at spreading development like the way this has come.
Right. Very interesting, gentlemen. And you did mention that, like Mr. Light has mentioned, that a budget is just a plan on paper. It's like a roadmap on how the government intends to, take development or to achieve its developmental agendas. Let's talk about something which is, of course, critical to so many lives out there. These are the employees. And we talk about the threshold, which has been increased with only about 300 kwacha, about somewhere there. Exactly. From the previously 4,500 kwacha now to 4,800 kwacha. Are you impressed with the pay-as-you-earn increment threshold?
It is a relief.
It is a relief.
It is a relief. It is a relief to a common Zambian worker. So what that does is it gives you a 300 plus in terms of disposable cash. Right. So then it helps you. Of course, we personally also, I would have loved that we be given something bigger. But it's looking at what they've given, it's a bit more realistic. Looking at the fact that the government runs on taxes, the government does not engage in a number of businesses. It depends on money collected as tax to be able to carry out the same plan that they have done. So to me, a 300 kwacha plus is better than nothing.
Right. Let's hear from Mr. Zimba. Why do you think it is somehow justifiable, it is quite fair in comparison to the cost of living, which has gone high as we speak today?
When you look at it from a different angle, when you go for, it's normally called pay-as-you-earn. Now, pay-as-you-earn, the threshold was at 4,500, meaning if you exceed 4,500, government will start getting some tax. Now, imagine where government gives you another 300 kwacha on top, which is non-taxable. It has gone from 4,500 to 4,800. That 300 kwacha, at least, is a relief, like my colleague has said. That 300 kwacha is as good as somebody giving you an extra 300 on top of what you're getting. So for me, I know
Are you speaking from the position of being one of the people that are affected in this country, like the majority Zambians are affected with the cost of living, the employees are complaining out there, or you are speaking from the position of being in government and you have to defend the government?
No. Well, I'm speaking from a citizen,
right,
and a very concerned citizen, by the way. Because then, what does the budget has done? It has touched every angle.
Right.
Not necessarily that it needs to make the other sector very happy and the other sector unhappy and all those things. But as time goes by, if you had in his preamble remarks, he had even given a clear statement. Things will begin changing every year. The budget will be revised every year. Meaning, there are sectors that maybe will be looked at almost every year, and there are sectors that maybe will be stuck for some time. So now, looking at that threshold, for me, with this kind of a budget, with the way things are going now, imagine where investment comes back in the country. Like the minister has said, Zambia is now open for investment. Zambia is back in business. So meaning, the more people bring in money here, the more goods and services becomes cheaper. And like I earlier said, the more we handle the GDP, if we raise that GDP according to how the ministers presented it, we reach that 4% threshold. Meaning we will start producing goods, like my colleague has said. The money that they've invested in farming blocks. I love one statement made by Basata Abayash, may his soul rest in peace. In Salanindi Minwa, Tempulilwa, he simply made a clear statement telling us if we do not use our land and our hands to till this ground, we'll ever be crying. We are anger, these goods are expensive, this is what, because we're importing everything. But imagine where we can do our own peanut butter here. So long as investment is there, the platform is given. By the way, that investment that you're saying, in that budget, the roadmap that they've taken, they've already sourced for 300 million from the World Bank, just to do farming blocks. Now, farming blocks is different. It may be fish farming, it may be cattle farming, it may be crop farming, anything. But so long as farming blocks are established where food security is secured in Zambia. So for me, that is a plus. Up to a point where, if at all, even if I save a 300 kwacha, if peanut butter will come as low as, I don't know how big the tin, maybe it can be at 50 kwacha, that bigger tin. Now imagine where the tin reduces maybe to a point of 30 kwacha, and I'm saving a 300 kwacha on my pocket. That's a plus. I can buy peanuts, I can buy some jam, and maybe little things in that 300 kwacha. So for me, it's fair, and I'm hoping that in the next year's budget, it will keep on increasing. From that 300 kwacha, maybe the threshold gives us another 300 or another 500, maybe going to even up to as far as 5,500.
The increment in threshold has always been, a problematic in terms of this in our country. Not only under the UPND,
exactly.
Where we are seeing some forms of rigid, when it comes to giving the employees that which they deserve. It also started way back under the PF. Each time there's a national budget, you do see this kind of a minimal kind of increment. But look, these are the things that you, under the UPND in opposition, you blamed, you condemned. You said, when we come in, we ensure that we treat our employees or our workers with dignity by giving them at least a substantial, kind of a threshold. Today, you seem also to be a little bit, hesitant.
Yeah, so what it is, Innocent, is that the government there's a way government runs.
Which you didn't know when you were in the opposition, right?
I don't want to delve much in talking about politics. We are discussing the budget.
Yeah, of course, it's part of it. I'm just reminding you of the critics to the previous administrations.
The political
why you
part,
consistently say,
critiquing was something. It was actually not criticizing, but critiquing, talking about, arguing about something with a solution.
What was the solution? What solution were you offering when you were in the opposition?
Yes.
And now you are fully in charge of the system. Why can't you offer that solution now?
This is what I want to talk about now. There's no government that will run without collecting taxes from its citizens. Yeah. Of course, maybe there are a few countries. But the main problem we've had in Zambia that has caused a problem in terms of governments being a bit rigid in terms of reducing tax is because government have got targets of how much they need to collect in terms of tax for them to be able to run effectively. So the main problem has been that there are few people paying taxes because of the high unemployment rates. So the more these other sectors open up, the more people, the more people that will be taxed, the more people will be coming on the tax base, therefore creating a bit of some relief on other people that are being taxed. For example, you and I will agree that the easiest people to tax are civil servants, because the government itself is their employer. But from the private sector, you get a lot of hardships in terms of people declaring correct amounts of tax. So what it is now is, as the government opens...
Mr. Loiter, let me just correct you. Are you aware that we've got government institutions that sometimes become very difficult when it comes to paying tax to the government? Are you aware? More than the private sector. The private sector, we are visited almost every day by ZRA to collect that which is due to them.
Yeah, maybe it
so really, you can't tell the people of Zambia, and through me here, that it is easy for government to tax its own people in government in comparison to the private sector. Yeah, we are all paying taxes in the country, and you are aware, you yourself, you are a very upright man. You are aware that, including the people that really may not be working, they are also contributing to paying taxes through the products they buy every day.
Yes. So
how come, Mr. Loiter, that under the Mwanawasa era, as you are saying that only a few people were being taxed?
The tax we are talking about here, let's be categorical. Yeah. The tax we are talking about here is the pay-as-you-earn. Remember, we mentioned the figure 4,500 to 4,800.
Yes.
So our argument is born from that fact.
Right.
So we are saying it is easier for the government to draw tax from its own employees. Because
all employees in the country, all employees in this country are paying tax to the government.
They are paying.
We are all paying taxes to the government.
Pay as you earn. We are all paying. But as we speak now, it's only now that ZRA has intensified its inspections. Some people have not been declaring correct figures. They have not been declaring correct figures. So
when you say it's just now, what do you mean? From which period to which period?
I may not specify, but what I'm saying, you are just from saying they are on you. You people from in the private
collectively
sector.
Those in government, we in the private sector, we are all are obliged to pay taxes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, it is easier to get correct figures from the public sector as opposed to the private sector. That has been a challenge. And of course, remember we're talking about pay as you earn. And of course, some business houses have not been cooperative. They have not been cooperative, and in some instances, they are not even registered with ZRA, especially small-scale businesses. So it has been very difficult to capture the correct population of people that are in employment. But the government still has a target of how much it should raise for it to be able to run effectively. As such, you find that the people bearing the tax burden are only a few in this population.
Just today, please go ahead.
Meaning, already the government is sure of those people that they will know that these are easily taxable. We've employed them and we can collect back that tax. But there are those that they don't know. Maybe the private sector, because the private sector, like my colleague has alluded to, it has different forms of people there, that maybe some are remitting tax, some are not remitting. But the government does not look at more than those that it clearly looks at. So now when you are planning, you don't go beyond you have to collect how much statistics you have in terms of figures. Those that you know, these, with or without fail, government can collect tax. But there are those that they cannot collect. They know. They are there out there, the private sector. But how much? Because sometimes when they come in a company for, say, this one, they tell you here, boss, how much are you paying your employee? Some of you say, oh, my employee gets 3,000. Some of you 1,000. So already the figures are low. So, but the government knows. For them, they've already put the minimum wage and all those things, and they've already set a standard. And that standard...
Maybe that's the notion I'm trying to correct, because I belong to the private sector.
Exactly.
And really, I will tell you one thing I've got, I think somehow some vast knowledge with regards to how much sometimes we are being followed by the law enforcers to ensure that they get that which belongs to them. And sometimes when you go and attend certain workshops where you meet the government institutions and we in the private sector, you find that the government parastatal institution, most of them, they are on the wrong side.
When you say we,
who is we? I'm saying I belong to the private sector, and I've got at least some vast knowledge in terms of how committed we have been or we are in paying taxes in comparison, or more than the people in government or some government institutions. Go and check your records very well. They will tell you.
Government is the largest employer, Innocent. And if that was what you are saying was true, the government would have had backlogs upon backlogs of debts to pay ZRA.
It is the largest employer, but when it comes to paying taxes,
if we are talking
I can sit here and tell you regarding the private sector, which I represent myself.
Exactly. We are also from a private sector. I run a
Thank
business. I run a business, he runs a business. So what we are talking about here is the fact that it is easier to collect tax from the public service as opposed to the private sector, because figures are not declared correctly. So then, how does the government plan on figures that are not presented correctly? You, as an institution, as a media institution, might be declaring correct figures, but you cannot speak on behalf of the whole private sector. Because you are not everywhere, you are just in Lusaka. Yeah, so the truth of the matter is that the government will plan based on the projected figures of the total population of the people they expect to get tax from. So then, when they have those numbers of people, they then come up with a target, and then know how much they are able to get as tax, how much they are able to forego. So they cannot just wake up today and say, okay, we are raising a threshold to 10,000 kwacha. By the way, how many people in this economy get 10,000 kwacha as a salary? So the majority of the people, the majority of the people that we have in the employment sector, mostly get below 8,000 kwacha.
Right. Let me take you to CDF now. We've seen also another increment from the CDF. We're talking about last year or this year. We are working on the 25.7 million kwacha, and now the figure has gone higher again to 28.3 million kwacha again. What does it represent?
It's an empowerment back to the community. Why do I say so? The community has been given this ownership. The community has been given this responsibility. It does not need now the central government, where the planners and everyone is seated in Lusaka, and from there they are not even in Vubwi. They don't know what you need in Vubwi. Maybe you need boreholes and they want to make you roads. Some point when they make you roads, you start complaining. These were common problems. So no wonder they are saying now, no matter how much they push back to the community, the ownership is on us, the citizen. We have, for me, this is a moment we need to start moving away from now the political circles. Because CDF will not benefit political arenas. If you are UPND, maybe you benefit from CDF, or if you are PF, you benefit from PF. That is what is killing this issue to do with CDF. Because already in the previous budget, we had struggles and confusion in between who should be benefiting from CDF. Now, I want to make it very clear. That's why I said CDF, in its own context, it said Community Development Fund. It's not a political development fund. It's something that should benefit the community. So meaning, the more they give us money, it's us as a community to sit regardless of our affiliation of a political party. That notion should be moved out now. Because then, when we sit as a community, when we put up a bowl, it will not be a bowl for UPND. It will not be a bowl for those in the ruling party. The water will be for the community. Even if we put up good pit latrine toilets there, it will not be toilets. People will be going in those toilets are not for UPND. No, these are things that we should be thinking of. So now, when they increase the threshold, they are telling us, whatever you need, now as a local community, can you bring them on board? For me, that is a good score. And when you look at the guidelines, like I earlier said way back when we appeared on one of the TV shows, what makes the confusion in the CDF is your affiliation, me and you, Bambo Piri. If you're affiliated to Socialist Party, I'll be saying, no, you are socialists, they touch the benefits in the CDF. That's a wrong principle. We are degrading and pulling ourselves another 50 years back. Mongandia time to poker independence. That is a thing that we should fight against. That CDF is for a benefit. It may not be so much on my beneficial side, but when we build schools, like maybe rehabilitating some schools, building drainages, our community will be a better place to live in. Our children will not be suffering from those little things that we are saying. Here, we have only maybe a 3 by how many classroom box, and you have maybe in one class where you have over 150 children. Now, assuming we put another maybe 3 blocks there, then you're decongesting a school.
Is the UPND, is the Newton government only, excited when it comes to playing around with figures, just for the sake of we can increase from 25.7 million kwacha to 28.3 million kwacha, just for the sake of just increasing? Because let's look at the current budget we have in the name of CDF. It came with all that kind of euphoric, kind of excitements, mostly from people like you who are in government. But this is the money which has not been given to the constituencies in full as we speak. It's like you tell me that you employ me in your company, you say, IP, as you come to work here, I'll be giving maybe 30,000 per month. Then the month end comes, I'm only given maybe 5,000 kwacha.
Bambo Piri.
What does it mean?
I'll be very straightforward.
Please.
With you. This is where we have problems. If there's a government that I want to appreciate, is a UPND government. Because for the first time when they had allocated that CDF, during the first quarter, the monies were there at every local government. But how to use the money, that is where we had the problem.
And who is the problem? We should blame for that.
Another quarter was given. The second quarter, the money came in. But people are still arguing who should benefit from CDF. Believe me, you've been hearing stories on TV where some individuals are protesting at the local government or at the DC's office to say, we have not benefited, but it's here. This is a problem. Monies have always been there. Now, imagine, why should the government be flowing out money again, just giving out people money without using it? It's like I cook a meal here. Me, on my part, I know this is a good meal because the first quarter was given about 5.3. The second quarter was 6 million. Now, if that money is sitting in the coffers there, it's not being used. Mind you, they used to spend 1.6 a year. But now, you've already gotten about 11 million in just 2 quarters. And these people are busy fighting here, the money is there. It's like you cook in Shima, I give you, Mubambo Piri in Shima Iriapa. First, you start arguing with the kids who should eat and who should eat the bigger chunk. Now, at the end of the day, the food is waiting. They bring, to stop all those wrangles, they bring another meal to say, it makes it a bigger chunk. Again, you start arguing. The problem has been the misunderstanding.
Between who?
Between us, the people, especially those in governance, those that are at local government level. Most of them have not gone down to tell the people and articulate what this CDF is. Beyond that, we have people that are in different camps. If you are UPND, there's no way you should appreciate this, this CDF. You want your own people that are in UPND to be beneficiaries of the CDF. Again, those in areas where maybe they don't even have UPND MPs and maybe a few councillors for UPND. They want only the PF people to benefit from the CDF.
Right.
These are issues that have been...
Let me get a position from Mr. Loiter. Mr. Light, rather. I want you also to respond to that.
Okay,
What's the purpose of increasing CDF from the current amount or figure to 28.3 if we have failed as a country to implement the current amount? Not only that, but also the executive seems to be struggling in raising the full amount of money. What could be the problem?
Yeah, so we are coming from a background where this CDF was at 1.6.
Yes.
And you should maybe find time to bring some of the MPs here so that they tell you how hard it was to access the same 1.6 million. I come from, my village is down in a constituency called Kembe. 1.6 million cannot sort out, can only sort out specific numbers of boreholes in a vast constituency like Kembe. But here's a good president who brings money. These monies MPs would go for 5 years, some 5 years, some 3 years without seeing the 1.6.
That's not true. Which constituency would you cite? That's not true.
If you say it's not true,
it's not true.
Then
if it's the issues where some constituencies were delaying to get maybe their monies, could be maybe, or we can say close to a year, not even beyond a year.
Some constituencies,
but not 5 years.
Some
That's
constituencies,
not,
as I speak.
Which constituency in Zambia would you cite, Mr. Light?
I do not want to cite.
So it's a blank statement
at the moment. But also, if you say it's a blank statement, you are a media house that should be able to say which constituency.
It's the reason why I'm here. I can cite examples like, is it Mwinilunga under Mr. Samakai? I can mention that. I can also go to which constituency in Eastern Province, that was Chipangali. As of 2018, these are the constituencies which had struggled to get their constituencies, I mean, their CDF funds. Okay, as well as I think Mazabuk, I remember.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but not going beyond a year. Okay. There were some delays about 6 months or so to 8 months.
Thank you for your correction, but we would still say that this money would still not create impact. Because it would come in bits and pieces.
Sure.
It would come in bits and pieces to an extent where some projects would not be completed. Yeah, so here comes a good president. Here comes a good president who gives a larger chunk of money amidst the issues of decentralization. So they bring this larger chunk of money at community level for people to be able to have homegrown ideas of development, so that we do not have white elephants that, like some of the projects that we've had. Of course, I know you would want to ask whether there are any white elephants. Yes, there are schools like FTJ. If that school was built under CDF, no one would have carried the money, carried the money from that community, taking it wherever it was taken. Yeah, so what CDF brings now, it brings a sense of ownership at community level, taking away the fear bomber attitude. Because then if you were part of the planning, you would understand how much was spent on a borehole, and so you would want to take care of such a facility. Of course, every new thing comes with its teething problems. The new Dawn government has only been in power for 1 year, and the increased amount of CDF is something that I think we'll be seeing. This is the second budget. So definitely we'll do away with a number of teething problems. I'm sure this new consignment that is coming in the new budget will not come with the challenges the first consignment came with.
Do you think some of the challenges you faced under the 1 year we are in power as the UPND administration, could it be attributed because of maybe it was the first year in office, Mr. Zimba, Mr. Laiti?
quite all right. You've said it very right. Everything comes with experience.
Right.
Whatever you're doing, if you're doing it for the first time, you may show the confidence, quite all right. But so long as you don't have the know-how, you start asking people where to start from, how to do certain things. And when you do that, you begin balancing. But of course, whatever you're doing for the first time comes with challenges. It comes with either sometimes you even tumble here you tumble, there you tumble, just like that. But along the way, you are gaining experience. Mind you, whatever you do and you fail out of it, the first thing that every normal thinking human being will do is to do an evaluation. So exactly what the UPND government has done in this previous year, it is for evaluation. So it has sat and they are looking at things from all angles. Where did we fail? And how did we fail? Why did we fail? Those are kind of questions they've asked themselves. Now, when they come up with this budget, I want to be, again, I'll keep on repeating this statement. Governance is a collective responsibility. Like we earlier said, any budget is just a blueprint. It's just a table or a roadmap that has been given to say this is a channel or this is a way that we want to take. But we should be mindful in every section of life that you are. When you show people a roadmap, no matter how much your vision may be, not everyone will agree with you. Some people want to drive the opposite side, where you're coming from. They will tell you, this is where we are going. Where you're going or where you're taking us is not a good way. So no, there are tags and wars here and there. Of course, it is human. We accept such tag of wars, because the more they pull you, the more you begin realigning and thinking, what have I done wrong? Maybe where should I put things better so that at least things go the right way?
Let's hear from Mr. Lighty. He did mention that you faced so many tribulations under the 1 year of the UPND in power in trying to fit into the governance. But more oftenly, you are aware that in a number of occasions, when you made maybe a mistake somewhere, when you seemingly failed to achieve a certain agenda, much of the excuses has been, this is because of the PF.
You're bringing in politics.
You are now bringing in politics.
Governance is politics, in case you're not aware.
Yeah, you are bringing in politics.
Governance is about
we
politics.
Do not want to,
when politics tumbles, everything tumbles.
We do not want to politicize
the budget.
No, I'm just saying because you brought in the aspect of saying your admission that you faced so many challenges, but it was because it was your first year in office.
The PF themselves have come out in open saying they still have people in the system. And what does that tell you? They've come out in open. They've been on media. They've been to media houses. They've been to print media, telemedia. They've said they are still in control.
So recently,
they still have people in the system.
So recently, they were just talking about those are judges, those are PF judges, in a public media like that one.
So what does that tell you?
So be careful when you take us to court.
So you people in the media should be probing such kind of statements. When a person comes out in open, so instead of you asking us such questions, when the next time you have people here, you should be able to probe them more. Ask them what they mean by saying they still have people in the system.
I've done that, and let me begin to probe you now, since you are here already.
Exactly.
Yes, you are very
if you remember, I remember Honorable Given Lubinda in a number of occasions, including other people that have mentioned that we still have some people who are loyal to the Petty Front.
Now you are diluting. You are diluting.
Go ahead.
What
is the correct word?
We have people. Not
Thank
people
you so
that
much.
Are loyal.
So,
we still have our people.
Thank you. So let me ride on that submission from yours.
Exactly.
Yes, I've heard Honorable Given Lubinda, among others, who have said we still have our people in the systems.
Yes.
You are happy now?
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Again, when you were in the opposition as UPND, we also heard in a number of occasions, President Agende Ichlema also claiming that we've got our people in government.
Which wings?
And he said in government, we've got our people. Honorable Lubinda And
Are
any
you
other
able to
PF,
pull out footage?
listen to me.
Are you able to pull
I've
out
told you
footage?
that
Or
on a
it's just a
number
blank
of occasions,
statement?
unless you
Or
tell
it's
me,
another blank statement
unless you
like
tell
that?
me, unless you tell me, Mr. Laiti, that you did not follow your leader when he was speaking, or you have deliberated to disown his own words. But you used to mention that actually they are giving us information as a UPND. Even before the information gets to the president, they tell me because the people, they want change.
Well, I do
so
not,
would you say that
we
was
do not
also
want-
a sabotage?
We do not want to speak on behalf of the president.
Right,
We are specifically here
right.
to talk about.
No, you assigned me
the
to
budget.
probe, so I said let me
Exactly.
begin probing
So the probe
and
came
remind
in.
you.
Remember, you asked me a question where you
Yeah.
said the UPND has been complaining. Could it be that some things have not worked?
Yes.
Because you every time when
You've
you say
been using the PF as an excuse for your
an
failure.
excuse.
Yes.
Of course, yes. Now, this is where we are building our case. What we are saying is that the PF have come out in open. Not one person, like you are saying, you are pointing at the UPND leader. Many people have been coming out in open saying we have our people in the system.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the PF manifesto has a clause where it says most of the positions in the government, in the system, should be held by whether card holding members or people that understand the vision.
Who are affiliated to the party.
Who are affiliated to the party. So when they came into power, there's been a number of people that cried foul, that they were wrongfully dismissed. So it was during that period of time that I should think they were putting card holding members, and these are people that are in numbers in the system. So we
And you are looking at them. You can't flash them out.
It's inhumane. It's inhumane.
Then if it is, why are you complaining?
We have a president
instead of taking up responsibility?
We have a president we call Umfiashiwaman.
Right.
So some of them have been given room to behave. They should act like civil servants.
Right.
They should keep politics away. But should they continue sabotaging systems, then they will have themselves to blame. Because they've been given enough room. 1 year, some people are still occupying positions in embassies. Where have you ever seen such a thing happen?
Do you know
Some
why some people are still occupying the embassies?
Not only that, I'll tell you there are some high government officials. We are from Kitwe.
Yeah.
There are some high-profile government officials that we saw wearing party gear and still continue holding offices up to today. And no one is harassing them. So they are just expected to behave like civil servants. No one is harassing you.
Mr. Zimba, I want to inform you because he just issued a very alarming statement as to
Alarming?
of course, quite alarming. Look, the reason why some people are still serving in the embassies out there is because when you are about to fire someone, when you fire somebody, you are supposed to give them all what is due to them. All right? So I want to believe that the government is also trying to make a decision in between. Because remember, we've got some other people who are fired and they are still on a salary right now. Government has employed other people, they are paying them. Again, the people who are fired are also getting paid. So that's a loss to the treasury.
Those are political appointments.
It doesn't matter, but is it okay for you?
Those are political appointments, and we are coming from a background where immediately a president was sworn in, people would be recorded immediately.
Bambo Piri, these are certain things that we should look at from a very critical point of view.
Yeah.
Do you know, let me cite an example of Professor Clive Chio. When the PF abrogated that agreement they had made between him and the government, up to date, the government is still suffering the payments, paying Professor Clive Chiro. Why? At an expense of us acting quickly. You fire this individual who you engaged in a contract, and after that, it takes you in a court of law, and you first take him in a court of law. this guy has stolen money, and you fail to prove, and he's now back suing the government to say, this is how much they owe me, plus penalties. Now, when you look at this, the reason why we call President Againde Ijilema as these are certain things. Certain decisions, yes, come with pen, but they should be taken. Firing anyone, everyone, all those people they are calling were people in our system. When we fire, or when the president fires, yes, it may bring, it may appoint his own people today. They'll be doing his own things. Huh? Whatever he does or whatever he wants, that's what they'll be doing. But at the end of the day, the expense of paying those people will be another backlog. You know, now what he's trying to do is trying to make them feel Zambians. That's why he says, regardless, they are all Zambians. Now, what kind of a leader is he? Who after being, because you want to be political, even after being persecuted so many times, imprisoned 15 times, sent in and out, but he's still letting these people there.
Do you know, Mr. Zimba, that
now, because
each example you may want to use to justify your point, it may also backfire to you because...
No, how?
Yes, you've talked about Clive
because that's
Chilwa.
reality.
You've talked about,
is one of the people...
You've talked about Professor Clive Chilwa, whose government is still struggling to pay up to now. I can add more, talk about the Mtembo Nchito story as well.
So now,
but again,
for a long time...
today, under the UPND, wait a little bit, I wanted to combine these issues. Under the UPND, we've also seen the kind of churches are being played where the former commissioner under the Electoral Commission of Zambia, Madam Emery Skazwe, has dragged the government to court on account that she was unfairly dismissed before her contract, which was supposed to expire, should be the next 2 years from now.
Yeah, so we cannot comment on that because
you see how smart you are. You are running out from your own examples.
Let's wait for the courts to...
It's in court.
Right? The issue of Lydian Siuni as well is as same as that of Mutembo Nchito as well.
It's under judicial review and it's in
we can
court.
talk about Mutembo because...
Let's talk about Clive Chilwa, like I said earlier.
I'm talking about generally, talking about the risks which the government, the UPND, is likely to incur. If, for example, the way they are handling the issue of Emery Skazwe, the issue of
handling the issue of
the government,
yeah,
the man in charge is President Againde Ichilema. So the example we've given about Professor Clive Chilwa, the Mtembo Nchito, it can also be balanced with the issue of Emery Skazwe and also the Siuni.
So those are matters that are before the competent court of law. So we cannot start discussing that.
So have you learned lessons? You seem not to have learned lessons.
The issues,
that's why they've gone to court. They have gone to court. So that we cannot discuss.
The lessons learned are exactly what Umfia Shuamano is implementing. He does not want to fire haphazardly.
But somebody's crying here. Emery Skazwe is crying here that she's been unfairly dismissed.
Now, we cannot
go into that discussion for Emery Skazwe because it's in a competent court. Now, the truth of the matter is, this is what I was telling you, Bambo P.
Yeah.
If there's a leader that has not fired the people, it's this president. When President Sata came in office...
Skazwe has been fired here. She's lamenting that she's been fired.
When Sata came in, he cleared nearly every office. But look at how much backlog of money we are still paying by that decision. And this president is failing to do that. Do you know he's suffering at the hands of his own people in the party? They are every day protesting. We need you to flush the system. Because he's making a drastic decision, either to aid his own people in the party, but meantime keeping people with saving a lot of interest, money and all those things, so that the government does not go into those issues, fighting to and from in courts. I've been unfairly treated, I've been what? Even after UPND is out of government, I don't know if it's after 30 years or 50 years, but some people still say I was unfairly treated. That is what this Bali is trying to do away with. He's trying to tell every individual, so long as it's a government that has employed you, and it's a government that is paying you, you need to start acting civil. That's why they are called civil servants. Not where you act politically. Like those statements that we are seeing, like you are saying, the statements that we are seeing in the newspapers, we have 48 royal ambassadors that still remit 6%, I don't know if it's 8% to the party. Making such careless statements. They are probing the president so that the president will act, and again they will start crying foul. That is very unprofessional. That's why the reason why we're saying we love this man is because no matter how much they push him to and from, there are certain things that he doesn't do. Because he knows and is focused. Whatever he wants to do, certain things like you are saying, you are mentioning those issues as we cannot mention. Let the matter call me after.
So many
call
cases
us
here
and bring us on TV
I may not
when the matter is out
here.
of that case.
And I can advise you, Mr. Laiti, to maybe go and engage in your leaders, be it at the Ministry of Health here, and see how many people have been dismissed so far. Just today, in the morning, I received a very disturbing report of 2 people who were complaining that they were also dismissed. You know, so if you went to ZESCO as well, Mr. Laiti, you are going to find more people who have been dismissed as well. Yeah. And you are aware, you people, you are learned individuals, and you understand. This is not a Zambian problem. It's an African phenomenon where whenever a government changes, each administration wants to bring in its own political, what they call loyalist members. It's the same. Even under the UPND, so many people have changed, have been fired.
Which has not been happening under UPND. When you talk about this,
somebody was just fired under, is it RDA? That was 2 days ago. You saw that memo that came out?
We are not privy to the details. We have not been given details. Right. Even here, you fire people that are found wanting. So when you say fired, that's a blank statement. Like, if I may,
it comes with conditions.
You are not explaining what they did for them to be fired. So we cannot just talk about firing here without appreciating the facts behind the firing.
Right.
So some of the people you may say are fired and might not be telling the truth. Some of them are ill qualified for certain positions.
Emily Skazwe, she's lying.
No, why are you
Are you a relative to Emily Skazwe?
Why are you concentrating?
It's because she went to court, Mr. Zimba, Mr. Laiti, Madam Skazwe went to court, telling the country that she was unfairly, she was fairly...
Bambopir, you may be cited for contempt.
There is no contempt. I'm just reminding you that she went to court claiming that she was unfairly dismissed.
So let the court hear.
So there's no contempt here.
There's a matter before the court. The court will hear, and when they hear, call us, then we will sit with you.
We'll come and
that's how good we are.
Let's end on this note. Let's end on this note. When you were in the opposition as UPND, you vowed that you never borrow money for meant or to be channeled for development. Again, we are under the IMF bailout package. Again today, new message was given through Parliament that your government is intending to borrow about $300, which will, $1 billion, which will go to towards the farming block and stuff like that. Okay. So it's like the appetite of borrowing is still part of your DNA.
We'll answer on a layman point of view.
Please do that.
Because we are not technocrats. So if you want to know more detail, invite the finance minister to come and give more detail. But what we'll tell you is that every lender has